Let me talk about a sneaky little trick that allows you to find people's unsecured web pages and members area using Google. And then I'm going to talk about how you can prevent that from happening to yourself. When it comes to Google, you can only find websites and members areas and things like that that are actually indexed by Google. So, in other words, if your website is not indexed by Google, then you can actually get away with people not finding you on Google. But that's not always the case. The majority of times, a lot of people don't know about this, but they are being indexed by Google. In fact, I created a website for a company that was a headhunting company, and I asked them if they wanted to do security and everything like that, and they're like, "No, we don't want to do that." And I was like, "You sure about that? Because besides doing just the design, you need to do some security." And they decided they didn't want to do that. It was extra money. So I kind of gave them a warning, but they didn't take it. So what ended up happening was, as you know, with a hunting company, they have, they interview people for the job. So they have secure confidential documents like resumes and stuff like that. So what ended up happening was Google ended up indexing all of the resumes on their site. Even though they thought it was secure, they ended up getting all their resumes on Google. And what ended up happening was I did a few things after that and secured it and hardened it down so that Google was not able to index it any further, and anybody accessing it were not able to do so. But as you know, Google likes to cache stuff. So it was kind of a little too late kind of thing. And they ended up saying, okay, well, let's go ahead and do more. But it's something that most people don't think about until it is too late. So with Google, what you might want to do is you might want to do this on your own website and figure out if Google has indexed you or not. If they haven't, great. You don't have to, you can do this. And I would still recommend that you do this just in case. But if you do have a membership script, this is probably not going to be an issue. But this will help you figure out whether or not Google has indexed part of your website that you just don't know about, because you really won't know this until you do it. But with Google, if you use a specific search and you put a site, the word site in colon, and then you put a domain name here. So yourdomain.com would be located here. Basically, Google will bring back everything that it has indexed about your website. Now, I'm just going to choose a random website. I have no idea what I'm going to choose. But another little word that you can use is file type. File type colon PDF or zip or anything like that. So it's going to bring all the files that are PDFs. And if you want to get really specific, you can put a keyword next to this, like weight loss, and it's going to bring all the PDFs that relate to weight loss, or all the file types that might be MP4 videos or zip files or whatever. Okay, so let's do something like file type PDF knitting. I have no idea if these are actually the members areas of these folks, but for example, linebrand.com, we'll just use this as an example. They have a PDF that links to some sort of knitting PDF ebook, it looks like. Basically, let's take a look at their site. So if you put site colon and then linebrand.com, I don't know what we're going to get. But as you can see, Google has indexed over 300,000 results. Wow. Okay. So it looks like it's a pretty big site. Basically, this allows you to see all the pages within this page. So if you don't have an area that's secured on your members area that happens to be like a members area, then people could easily find this. So what you can do is you can hop on over to cPanel as such. And what we're looking for is the index manager, which is located under the advanced tab here. So this is index manager. And what this allows you to do is tell Google, hey, I don't want to be indexed by blocking access to a specific folder. So let me just show you a real life example here. This right here is and happens to be a folder with a bunch of downloadable files in it. So obviously it's easy to click and download those files. Now, I don't really want Google to see this. So I want to block access to it, but I still want to be able to, download these files. One of these folders, so you could click on the main folder as well, but you probably only want to choose the folder that has the actual zip files in it or important files. You click the folder, and then it basically asks if you want to do no indexing, you want to do standard indexing, but that still shows your files, and fancy indexing. What I do is I do no indexing, click on save, and then we go back to the live page here where you're able to see these files. And if you refresh the page, it almost shows as if there's nothing here. But the reality of it all is that if you go to that link or one of those links within that folder, you'll still be able to download those files. And there we go. So if you basically put no indexing, or another thing you can do is password protection, or there are scripts out there. If you're using something like WordPress, there are systems out there that will allow you to tell Google that, hey, I don't want to be indexed by you so that people can find me out on the internet in terms of, your downloadable files. You still want Google to be able to index parts of your website because that's when you'll be able to get some traffic. But if you totally block them out, that can be an issue. So you just want to block out specific pages. And by using the little trick here, this allows you to see, what Google has actually indexed for your site. So that way you're able to take proactive action to secure your site. So that's it.